You're at a biometric gate in 2026. The screen lights up, locks onto your face, then flashes red. Error. The gate stays locked. A security officer waves you aside, and before you know it, you're explaining yourself in a side room while you're connecting flight boards without you. In 2026, airports worldwide are rolling out biometric e-gates that operate on session logic, liveness detection, and backend templates most travelers never hear about. This video breaks down 11 advanced mistakes that get you pulled aside, including the one invisible thing you do before you even reach the camera that quietly destroys your scan. Number 1. Switching lanes after the gate has already pre-activated you. You walk toward an e-gate, then notice the line next to you is shorter. You hesitate, step back, and switch lanes. But the moment you step into the approach zone of the first gate, the system assigns a temporary biometric session ID to your presence. Cameras in the pre-zone start pre-capturing frames to speed up the full scan. If you switch lanes, your face may be partially associated with two sessions at once, which invalidates both. The system thinks two people are trying to use conflicting tokens. Outcome: you reach the new gate, scan your passport, look at the camera, and the system flags you for manual check even though nothing technically failed. The officer pulls up your log and sees overlapping session metadata. Modern e-gates use zone sensors and pre-capture logic to build a session envelope the moment you approach. If you abort that envelope by switching lanes, the backend doesn't always cleanly drop the first session. Once you commit to a lane, stay in that lane until you're through or explicitly redirected by staff. Don't hover between two gates trying to decide which looks faster. Pick one, commit, and walk straight in. If a gate looks broken, walk fully away from the zone before choosing another lane. If you change your mind after stepping into the approach zone, step all the way back out, pause for 5 seconds, then re-enter cleanly. Commit to your lane and the system treats you as one clean session. But even if you stay in one lane, the second mistake happens when you think the gate is ready before it actually is. Entering the gate before the previous session fully closes, the person in front of you walks through, the gate barrier closes, the screen goes blank, you step up immediately, but many gates visually look idle before the backend session has actually reset. The system is still writing the previous traveler's log and flushing cached biometric frames. If you enter early, the system can append your face to the previous traveler's metadata. This is a known cause of false anomalies in high-throughput airports like Amsterdam, Frankfurt, and Singapore. The gate creates a data artifact: two faces, one session, conflicting passport numbers. That gets escalated to manual review automatically. Busy airports optimize for speed, which means the visual reset can happen faster than the data reset. Wait for a clear ready prompt, usually a green light or explicit instruction on the screen, before placing your passport on the scanner. After the person in front clears, count to 3 before you step up. Look for a visual cue like the screen fully refreshing or a tone that signals the gate is back in idle mode. If you step up too early and the screen flickers, step back and wait for the full reset. Give the gate time to reset and you avoid becoming a ghost in someone else's session. But once you're inside the gate, the third mistake is one travelers think is polite, but the system sees as suspicious. Looking at the officer instead of the capture zone, you're standing at the gate, passport scanned, and the screen says, "Look at the camera." But there's a border officer standing nearby. You glance at them for a split second. That tiny glance ruins your scan. Some biometric systems register gaze vector during capture to help detect liveness. Looking sideways towards staff during capture can lower liveness confidence enough to trigger fallback to manual verification. Travelers think they're being polite. The system thinks you're inconsistent with expected human camera interaction. Liveness detection is designed to catch spoofing attacks. Part of that logic looks for natural eye contact with the camera. If your gaze vector is off axis during capture, the system can interpret that as non-human interaction. When the screen says, "Look at the camera," look only at the camera, not at staff, not at the screen, not over your shoulder. Find the camera lens, usually a small circle above or beside the screen, and lock your eyes on it for the full 2 to 3 seconds of capture. Don't glance around to check if you're doing it right. Keep your head and eyes still until you hear a beep or the gate opens. If you instinctively look at people when you feel watched, remind yourself, camera only. Lock your gaze and the system reads you as a real, engaged human. But even if you stare perfectly at the camera, the fourth mistake happens when you try to improve your posture mid-scan. Adjusting your face after capture has begun. You're standing at the gate, looking at the camera, and you feel like your posture isn't quite right, so you straighten up or lift your chin. That tiny adjustment breaks your scan. Once capture starts, even tiny adjustments can break frame continuity. The system expects consistency, not improvement. Biometric capture happens over a short sequence of frames. If your face geometry shifts mid-sequence, the system sees discontinuity and flags it as a potential integrity issue. The algorithm looks for stable feature points across multiple frames to build a confident match. Movement between frames reduces that confidence. Set your posture before the capture starts, then hold it perfectly still until the system signals completion. Before you scan your passport, set your posture. Stand straight, chin level, face neutral. Once the camera activates, freeze in that position for 2 to 3 seconds. Don't adjust. The system wants consistency, not perfection. If you feel uncomfortable mid-scan, accept it. You can adjust after the gate opens. Freeze your face and the system builds a clean template. But even travelers who master the physical scan can fail because of how often they've used the system before. If any of these have already tripped you up, tell me what happened in the comments. Those stories are the playbook most travelers never see. Mistake number 5, traveling with a passport you used only once before. You renewed your passport a year ago, used it for one short trip, and now you're flying internationally again. You walk up to the e-gate expecting it to work smoothly, but the gate kicks you to manual verification for no obvious reason. If your biometric enrollment is based on a single historical capture, the system has a weaker composite template. These profiles are statistically more likely to be routed to manual verification. Frequent travelers unknowingly have stronger biometric identities because the system has seen them many times under different lighting and angles. Biometric systems improve their confidence in your identity over multiple successful captures. The first time you use a new passport, the system only has a chip photo and maybe one live capture. By the 5th or 10th trip, it has a composite that's much harder to mismatch. On your first few trips with a new passport, expect a higher chance of manual verification and plan extra time at borders. If you're traveling on a brand new passport for the first time, don't rely on e-gates for tight connections. Build an extra 20 to 30 minutes into your first border crossing. After 2 or 3 successful trips, the system will route you through automation more reliably. Your travel frequency quietly teaches the system to trust you. But even frequent travelers can fail if they make the 6th mistake. Clearing your throat, swallowing, or lip movement during scan. You are at the gate, holding still, and you feel the urge to clear your throat or swallow. It is a reflex, but the system notices. Anti-spoofing monitors lower face motion patterns to detect liveness and rule out replay attacks or mask artifacts. Natural mouth movement during capture can momentarily resemble replay or mask artifacts. The system errs on caution and routes you to manual verification. The algorithm does not know intent, it only knows patterns, and certain lower face movements sit in a gray zone. Try to keep your entire face relaxed and motionless during the scan, including your lips, jaw, and throat. Before you step up, swallow and clear your throat so you are less likely to feel the urge mid-scan. During capture, breathe calmly through your nose and keep your lips gently closed. Do not talk, do not cough, do not swallow, just hold for 3 seconds. Still your face completely and the system reads you as clean human liveness. But the 7th mistake is not about what you do, it is about which lane you choose. Using fast track or crew lanes without prior enrollment there. You have airline status, so you use the fast track lane. You scan your passport and the gate rejects you even though your documents are perfect. Different lanes sometimes use different model tuning and backend integrations. Entering a lane your biometric profile wasn't calibrated for increases mismatch probability. Some lanes prioritize speed and use looser thresholds. Others prioritize security and use tighter ones. If your profile was enrolled in one lane type, switching to another can quietly lower your match confidence. Stick to the lane type you've used successfully before, especially for tight connections. If you're a first-time user of a premium lane, build extra time in case it doesn't work. If you always succeed in the regular e-gate lane, use that lane instead of experimenting on important trips. Know your lane and the system knows how to read you. But even the right lane can fail you if mistake 8 is sitting in your travel history, being recently manually cleared on a previous trip. Your last trip ended with the e-gate failing and an officer manually verifying you. It was fine, but that manual override is logged. If your last biometric interaction ended in officer verification, your next scan is weighted more conservatively. The algorithm sees past friction as a signal that you're on the edge of its confidence zone. Past friction increases future scrutiny quietly. If you've been manually processed recently, expect the same airport to be more cautious with you next time. After a manual override, your first few trips through automated gates may be less smooth. Give yourself extra buffer time. One successful automated crossing after a manual check can reset your confidence score. Your history follows you invisibly. But mistake 9 happens before you even reach the gate. Wearing face coverings before the scan zone. You're walking through the terminal with the scarf or mask pulled up. You pull it down at the gate, but the system still rejects you. Even if you remove face coverings at the gate, pre-zone partial occlusion can reduce capture quality due to early frame selection. The system doesn't always restart cleanly when you change your appearance mid-approach. The mistake happened in the approach zone where pre-capture starts. Modern e-gates use cameras in the approach zone to pre-select frames. If those early frames show your face partially covered, the system flags inconsistency. Remove all face coverings before you enter the e-gate approach area, not at the gate itself. Pull down masks and scarves at least 10 to 15 meters before you reach the gates. If you're wearing a mask for health reasons, hold it in your hand as you approach and only put it back on after you've fully cleared. Clear your face early, and the system sees one consistent version of you. But mistake 10 isn't about you at all. It's about when you choose to travel. Traveling during peak staffing shift changes. You book a flight that lands at 6 a.m. because the ticket is cheap. You get routed to manual processing even though nothing is wrong. During staffing shift changes, typically early morning and late evening, systems operate under reduced officer intervention tolerance. More passengers are automatically routed to manual checks to avoid unresolved edge cases during handover periods. Your mistake is traveling at the wrong operational moment. During shift changes, the system becomes more conservative because human backup is temporarily limited. Avoid booking tight connections during early morning or late evening shift change windows if you're relying on e-gates. If you have flexibility, book arrivals during mid-morning to mid-evening hours when staffing is at full capacity. If you must travel during off-peak hours, assume e-gates will route you to manual checks more often and plan extra time. Travel when the system is fully staffed and you get the full benefit of automation. And finally, the last mistake is happening inside your body without you realizing it. Attempting the gate after watching someone get pulled aside. You're in line at the e-gate and you watch the person in front of you get rejected and pulled aside. Now you're nervous. You step up, and even though you do everything right, the system rejects you too. Stress changes micro movement and muscle tension in measurable ways. The system doesn't read fear, it reads statistical deviation in your face geometry, posture, and micro movements. The mistake isn't anxiety, it's altered biometric behavior caused by that anxiety. When you're stressed, your facial muscles tense, your breathing changes, and your eyes move differently. All of those tiny changes show up in the biometric data. If you see someone struggle at the gate before you, take a moment to reset yourself before you step up. If the person in front gets pulled aside, pause. Take 3 slow breaths and remind yourself that their issue has nothing to do with yours. Let 1 or 2 people go ahead if you need a moment to calm down. When you step up, focus only on the instructions on the screen. Calm your body, and the system reads your biometrics as normal. So when you zoom out, Getting through biometric gates in 2026 comes down to understanding session logic, liveness detection, and backend templates. Commit to your lane, wait for clean resets, lock your gaze on the camera, freeze your face during capture, and stay calm even when others fail. These aren't the mistakes the signs warn you about. These are the mistakes the system logs quietly, and most travelers never connect to the red screen. Airlines and border agencies are counting on most travelers walking up without this knowledge. You're not in that group anymore. If this helped you understand how these systems actually work, hit like so YouTube shows it to other travelers who are still guessing. Subscribe if you want more technical travel guides for 2026. And tell me in the comments, have you been flagged at a biometric gate and had no idea why? What happened? Those stories help everyone see the patterns the system never explains.